Alone in the bedroom, she prepared to unleash her true nature. She boiled water in a pot. Ego entered the bathroom, her hands trembling with excitement. Pouring the liquid over her head, she felt her true form emerge, a monstrous shapeshifter fueled by vengeance. Ebuka screamed echoed through the house as he witnessed the horrifying sight before him as Ego stepped out of the bathroom. "What are you?" he cried, his mind Once upon a time, in the village of Eku, nestled beneath the vast African sky, Amala and Edu lived a simple and happy life. Amala, with her round belly, was a talented seamstress, creating beautiful clothes for the people of the town, while Edu tended to the rich brown earth. He was a farmer, growing crops that fed the rich people of Eku. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Amala sighed. "Edu, I feel as though this baby will never come. It's past 9 months already, and yet nothing." Edu, wiping the sweat from his brows, replied softly, "Patience, my love. The baby will arrive when the time is right." Amala replied, "Even after 9 months?" Days turned into weeks, and still no sign of the baby's arrival. Each morning, Amala goes to the river, her heart heavy with desire to have her child. She always cried by the river. One beautiful night, as the stars danced above, Amala had a dream. She woke breathless and sweaty and turned to Edu. "I dreamt of our baby," she whispered. "But there is a condition." Edu's eyes widened with curiosity. "What condition, my love?" Amala's voice trembled. "In this dream, I saw a woman who told me that our baby will be born. But we must never bathe the baby in hot water." Edu nodded solemnly, his love for Amala and their unborn child filling his heart. He said, "We will honor the dream, my dear. Our baby will be bathed in love and care, but never in hot water." As the months passed, and exactly on the 14th month of Amala being pregnant, Amala's belly swelled with life, and that fateful day, she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Ego. Ego grew into a beautiful young woman who walked with grace and poise, turning heads as she went, captivating the heart of all who laid eyes on her. One sunny day, as Ego and her friend Ngozi was going to the river, Ego approached Ngozi with a worried expression. "Ngozi, you really have to beware of Ebuka, your supposed boyfriend. His heart is as fickle as the wind." Ngozi laughed, tossing her long braids over her shoulder. "Ego, you worry too much. Ebuka is just like any other man in the village." But Ego shook her head, her eyes pleading. "He is different, Ego. Ngozi, you have to promise me you will be cautious." Ngozi brushed off Ego's concern, her heart light and carefree. Little did she know, the storm of tragedy was brewing on the horizon. Ngozi's world turned upside down when she discovered she was pregnant. With trembling hearts, she mustered the courage to confide in Ebuka, her heart filled with hope for support. "Ebuka, I am pregnant," Ngozi whispered, her voice trembling with emotions. But Ebuka's reaction was far from what she had hoped. "You are lying," he spat, his eyes filled with anger. "You are nothing but a deceitful woman." Tears streaming down her cheeks, Ngozi turned to her friend Ego for comfort. "He won't believe me," she sobbed, seeking solace in Ego's embrace. Ego held her friend close, offering words of encouragement. "You are not alone, Ngozi. We will get through this together." Despite Ebuka's denial, Ngozi carried the pregnancy alone, her determination unwavering despite the hardship she faced. As the days of her delivery approached, Ngozi's heart swelled with both anticipation and fear. But when complications arose during childbirth, her worst fears were realized. In the dimly lit hospital room, Ngozi clung to Ego's hand, her breath racked with pain. "I am scared," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Ego squeezed her friend's hands and reassured her. "Ngozi, you are strong. You can do this." But as the hours passed, Ngozi's condition worsened, and the doctor's frantic efforts were in vain. With a final gasp, Ngozi slipped away, leaving behind a world filled with unfinished dreams and unspoken hopes. Ego wept bitterly, mourning the loss of her friend and the injustice of a life cut short. On that moonlight night, Ego's world shattered as the news of Ngozi's passing spread through the village. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she stood by Ngozi's graveside, the rain pouring down in torrents. Ebuka approached, his voice heavy with sorrow. "I never meant for this to happen, Ego. Ngozi was dear to me, but I couldn't give her what she wanted." Ego's heart ached with grief and anger. "You toyed with her heart, Ebuka. You left her alone to face the consequences of your actions." The rain soaked through Ego's clothes, chilling her to the bone. She shivered. Ego was so cold that night that she considered bathing with a hot water. Maybe I should bathe with hot water," she murmured to herself, the temptation gnawing at her soul. But then a whisper echoed in her mind, a reminder of her mother's word, "Never bathe with hot water." But Ego, out of curiosity and heartbreak, decided to bathe with hot water. As Ego stood in the bathroom, hot water flowing over her, something strange happened. She felt a sudden burst of energy and her body started to change. It was like she was becoming someone else, someone with incredible powers. Amidst the transformation, Ego realized she could hear thoughts, not just her own, but others too. And she could change her shape, becoming anything she wanted. She was a shape shifter, capable of assuming any shape she wanted, and endowed with the possibility to hear the thoughts of those around her. Ego thought of how to use her newfound power to find justice for her friend Ngozi. She sought out for Ebuka. As Ego walked through the village marketplace, she passed by Ebuka, who was lustfully staring at her. "She's just another pretty face," Ebuka thought to himself, his mind filled with crude intentions towards her. And Ego, with her newfound ability, could hear him in disbelief. One other evening, Ego overheard Ebuka conversing with his friend at the village gathering. "I will have her wrapped around my finger in no time," he boasted, his thoughts dripping with arrogance and disrespect towards women. Ego was so furious at Ebuka's thought, yet she remained calm. During another chance encounter by the river, Ego caught Ebuka's gaze, lingering on her with a predatory grin in his eyes. "She will fall for my charms like all the others," he thought, his thoughts laced with manipulation and deceit. Ego was fueled by rage and a desire for justice at this point. Ego vowed to use her newfound power to confront Ebuka and put an end to his mistreatment of woman once and for all. After intentionally allowing herself to be ensnared in Ebuka's web. Ego found herself at the center of his affection. Ebuka, captivated by her beauty, couldn't resist the urge to propose marriage. Ego, my love, will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? Ebuka's eyes shone with adoration as he dropped to one knee, holding out a ring. Ego's heart pounded with anticipation as she accepted his proposal, her mind filled with thoughts of vengeance. "Yes, Ebuka, I will marry you," she replied, her voice sweet with feigned affection. Their wedding day arrived in a whirlwind of emotions, but for Ego, it was all part of her grand scheme. As they exchanged vows, her mind buzzed with plans to confront Ebuka and put an end to his mistreatment of women. But amidst the celebration, a sense of unease gnawed at Ego's conscience. She knew that her revenge would come at a cost, but she was determined to see it through to the end. Ego, now living with Ebuka as his wife. One beautiful night, as Ego stirred the pot on the stove, a splash of hot water grazed her arm, triggering her shape-shifting ability. She quickly composed herself as Ebuka entered the kitchen, his eyes filled with adoration. "What's that smell?" Ebuka wrinkled his nose, a puzzled expression on his face. Ego forced a smile, her heart racing with apprehension. "Just a new spice I'm trying out, my love. Nothing to worry about." Ebuka nodded and pulled her into an embrace, planted a kiss on her cheek. Bert couldn't shake off a very strange smell he is perceiving from his wife, Ego. She smells that way anytime her shape-shifting ability is about to manifest. Ego slipped into the bathroom, the steam swirling around her as she prepared to bathe. Ebuka's voice drifted through the door, tinged with concern. "Are you alright in there, my dear?" Ego took a deep breath, her hands trembling as she looked into the mirror. To her horror, the reflection staring back at her was not her own. It was a twisted, gross version of herself, a manifestation of her shape-shifting ability gone awry. Ebuka's footsteps approached the bathroom door, his voice filled with worry. "Ego, what happened? Are you okay?" But Ego couldn't bring herself to answer. Ebuka also saw a tiny reflection of the figure in the mirror, but he wasn't sure of what he saw. He was bewildered by what he saw in the mirror. He sought solace from the juju priest. "I feel like I'm losing my mind," he confessed, his voice trembling with fear. The juju priest, with a reassuring smile, placed a hand on Ebuka's shoulder. "Fear not, my son. All is well in the eyes of the spirit. Trust in the guidance." Returning home, Ebuka poured out his worries to Ego. "I don't understand what's happening to me," he admitted, his brow furrowed with confusion. Ego, masking her true intentions, embraced him tightly. "There is nothing to fear, my dear. We will face this together," she reassured him, her mind already set on her plan of revenge. As they hugged, Ebuka recoiled in shock, feeling slimy things swimming in his hand. "What is this?" he explained, pulling away in horror. Unfazed, Ego watched him head to the bathroom to shower, her heart pounding with anticipation. Alone in the bedroom, she prepared to unleash her true nature. She boiled water in a pot. Ego entered the bathroom, her hands trembling with excitement. Pouring the liquid over her head, she felt her true form emerge, a monstrous shape-shifter fueled by vengeance. Ebuka screamed echoed through the house as he witnessed the horrifying sight before him as Ego stepped out of the bathroom. "What are you?" he cried, his mind reeling with terror. Unable to comprehend the nightmare unfolding before him, Ebuka tore off his clothes and ran into the streets, his sanity slipping away with each step. Ego, her revenge fulfilled, poured cold water over herself, a triumphant smile coiling her lips. Let this be a lesson to all who dare to exploit the innocent, she whispered, her voice echoing through the empty house. The moral lesson of this story still remains respect and empathy. Treat others with respect and empathy, regardless of their appearance or circumstances. Ebuka's mistreatment of women led to his downfall, while Ego's revenge highlighted the importance of standing up for justice. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed our video, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to share the story with your family and your friends. Till we see you again in our next story. Goodbye.